When somebody has their own business, sometimes it's too easy to give up. So my job is to help them to find the detour. We'll go around it, and then it's a win. I always say, take my belief in you and in the process and borrow it until you have your own.
Are you looking for free tools that accelerate your business? Try self-implementing Summit OS, the ultimate business operating system. Summit OS will help you empower your team, execute like hell, and dig a moat around your business. Go to stevebreda.com/tools and download free, simple worksheets that help you grow your business. Alternatively, get matched with a Summit OS guide and take your business straight to the top of the mountain. Good day, dear listeners. Steve Breda here with the Management Blueprint podcast. And my guest today is Janet Metzger, a business strategist and network marketing expert. Janet, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Steve. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's great to have you. And I really want to start with my favorite kind of millennial/Gen Z question, if you may, which is, what is your personal why? And what are you doing in your business to manifest it?
Okay. Wow. My personal why is I am retired officially from the corporate world, but I'm not very good at not doing anything. So one of the things I absolutely love to do is I love to travel. And I have it all booked. I will hit all 7 continents. I've been to all 50 states, and it's not cheap. So I want to earn more money to do it, but I like to continue to be able to help people. So when you own your own business, you have the benefit of time freedom, but yet you still have to work. So that's my why, is I want to be able to travel around the world and have a good quality of life with my husband, family, and friends, doing whatever the heck we want to do whenever we want to do it. So that's my why.
That's great, and I'm just reading a book which was written by a millionaire investor, and he's talking about the joy of life is really in the small things of connections with family, friends, and noticing the small details of life and the small joys of life. So that's very much in line with that thinking.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you have been not just a network marketing expert and business strategist, but you're also mentoring people. You also are a health, wellness, and wealth coach yourself. And you have developed you've seen a lot of successful tricks of the trade. So what is your personal success formula that you like to teach your clients, and maybe you also practice yourself?
Okay, wow, that's a big one. I think where you have to start is you have to have a process in place. And I think in business today, we tend to make it way too complicated. And my first career in network marketing was in the cosmetics industry. And I had a saying, is it's only lipstick. I mean, come on, it's not that complicated. So I like to keep things very simple, and I like to have a 3 to 4 step process. These are the things that I do consistently on a daily basis. I've always said you have to have your business plan. You should be able to write it on a napkin. That's how simple it should be. So I'm very, very structured. I still set an alarm, even though I don't have to. I get up at a certain time, and I have a process of everything that I do. And I'm not going to say Saturday and Sunday, but I am going to say Monday through Friday. So I literally go to work. And I think that's part of it. I mean, I treat it as a job, in that I got to be here at a certain time. I've got to show up at my desk. I've got to do meetings at a certain time. So I'm very, very structured. But yet today, you know what? It was a nice day, and I took the dog for a walk at about 11 o'clock. And that's the beauty of owning your own business. But I was also in my office at 6 o'clock this morning. So structure for me is critical, and you have to develop that habit. It's not something that you wake up and all of a sudden you're an expert in your business. It takes time to develop the habits. But in fact, it's about 81 days on average. I'm sorry, 87 days on average to develop a habit, not the 21 days that everybody thinks.
Wow. Okay. So you say you have to have a process. You have to show up. I mean, Woody Allen famously said that 80% of success is showing up. I'm talking to my kids about this idea, and I hope they get it. But yeah, you show up. That's big. You stick to you build habits. You know, James Clear talks about atomic habits, on how you can build your habits and kind of stick one on another one, and kind of build your little system of habits for long-term success. What else is key in your process?
I think the other thing that's key in my process is that I do a lot of personal development, because as I'm helping people grow their businesses, grow their confidence in themselves, I have to practice what I preach. So part of my process every single day, and this is every day, is I start every morning when I come down to my office. I start out with, I'm going to show you, it's sitting right here. This is the first thing that I do, is I start with my gratitude journal, and I write in it every day. One of the things I learned many, many years ago when I was traveling all of the time, I was gone 4 nights a week, is I had to find what is good. So every day in my gratitude journal, I write things I'm grateful for, and also 3 things that went well yesterday. Sometimes you have to really, really dig when you own your own business. I remember when I was traveling all the time, I would go to a hotel and it's late at night. And, I was so happy because I could get a Diet Pepsi, not a Diet Coke. Sometimes you have to really dig, but I think that's really important. But also go in with eyes wide open and do the analysis. What went well? What could you do better? What are you going to stop doing? But I can do that because I only focus on 1 to 2 things at a time. I keep it really simple. You can only do 1 or 2 things really well.
Yeah, my dad always used to tell me that you can only ride 1 horse with a single ass. And
I've never heard that one, but yeah, it's. I always say is don't be like my dog and try to chase 2 or 3 squirrels, because you're not going to catch any of them.
yeah,
So I tend to go very, very focused.
yeah, that's having to say a lot of no's. That's part of the success
Right,
formula
right.
as well.
Right. So what I do is I really do my own personal development. I'll do 15 minutes a day. I'll do my gratitude journal, and then I get my head right. And then I can share, whether it's on social media or talking one-on-one with people on the phone or Zoom or whatever the case may be. But I got to get myself right before I can help any other person. And that is not a one and done. I have to do it every single day.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. I used to do a lot of get up 4 a.m. in the morning, and I did a couple hours of reading and writing and do all sorts of different things. And I felt like by 8 a.m., I felt like I've done most of the work that day. But that also impacts your social life in the evening, right? If you get up very early, then you have to go to bed early, which means you miss out on the evening activities.
Yeah, I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm old enough that I don't need to do that, but I also remember when I was young enough and I'd come home at that time. So not doing it anymore.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So tell me a little bit about, what does a network marketing expert do?
Well, I think the expert comes in from a number of years of experience, but everybody's heard of network marketing in some shape or form. It is not anything new. It's not a new concept. Actually, network marketing started in the 1880s with a company that everybody has known of. She probably sat at your mother's kitchen table, and that was with Avon. So I worked with them for 17 years at the corporate level. And what a network marketer does is basically they represent a company and they sell their products. They learn about their products. They share their products with family and friends and potential customers, as well as building a team. So with my years of experience, one of the things that I have learned in network marketing, it's a little bit different. When people have a job, they have a boss, right? They have a boss that they have to listen to, that they have to do what the boss says. When you are a network marketer, you're an independent contractor. You can do as much as you want or as little as you want. And one of the skills that I've developed over the years, and I teach people how to do it, is how to inspire people to do something.
Mhm.
You know, you're not their boss. You have to inspire them when you can't fire them.
Mhm.
And that's a learned skill that comes over time, but it all starts with finding out what their why is. So it's just my years of experience. I've kind of been there, done that, seen it, know how to help people, know how to read people. I do a lot of studying in the industry, and the industry has changed a lot. I will not, I'm not going to claim that I am an expert in social media network and social selling. I'm always learning. I have mentors that help me with it, but the fundamentals of the business, which is working alongside people and helping them to achieve their goals and dreams, that will never change. To me, that's the best part about the business.
Yeah.
So I'm an expert because I've had a lot of experience. I've run humongous businesses. I ran $100 million network marketing business. It was big business. But at the same time, you get to that grassroots level and you work with the individuals. So I've just seen so many different things, and I know how to pivot quickly and help others to pivot.
Wow. Okay, that's that pivoting is a big skill, especially valuable nowadays when the pace of change is accelerating and you have to learn to pivot a lot.
You
So,
do.
so going back to this concept of inspiring people to do things, and you said first you have to find out their why. So, what's the next step? If you know their why, then how do you use that?
What I'll do is, I've got my notebook, I write it down, and my role is to constantly remind them. So, for example, I had a call with a team member today. I always start with, tell me what went well. I always focus on the positive. They immediately go to the negative. I said, no, tell me what went well. So there's always recognition involved.
Mhm.
The next thing is this still what you want to do? Do you want to take that trip to Antarctica? Yep, I still want to do it. Okay, so when are we going to do it? So I constantly talk about the why, and then I give them options. It's kind of a buffet. There's all these different things that you can do. We're going to pick 2 to 3 things that you can do that you select,
Mhm.
because it's got to be theirs, not mine, that you select, that you are willing to do, and you agree that you're going to work on them consistently.
Mhm.
So what are the 2 or 3 things you're going to do? And that's when I start to become an accountability partner.
Mhm.
But what I have to do is I have to narrow it down, because there's in our industry, we call it shiny object. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can go here. No. Just do this. It's fundamentals. You have to really practice the fundamentals. So I let them decide what they want to do. And then my role is the accountability.
Mhm.
So to me, I think that's a big part of it. And I also help them to find what's going well. Because when they say, so tell me what you're proud of, what went well, and they'll tell me, I'll go, great, that is awesome. Let's do that again.
Mhm.
So if they verbalize it, they internalize it.
So essentially, you do the same thing as you do in your personal daily practice. You think about your purpose. You look at your gratitude journal. You write down what went well, right? You're building your motivation, and you're refining your attitude to make sure you're positive and you can impact people positively. Then you can project this out. You can inspire people and help them do the same thing. Help them prioritize, and then check up on them and see if they did it, and encourage them if they did it.
Yeah, and not only see if they did it, but then we start to tweak it and we start to refine. And we talk about the wins. I think the biggest challenge, quite frankly, in any business is people are so worried about 5 years down the road. Okay, let's talk about the wins that you've got now. Little wins add up. And they're really, to me, I always look at them as the mile marker. If I want to drive from where I live in Wisconsin to California, I'm probably going to run into a detour, but I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to go a different way. When somebody has their own business, sometimes it's too easy to give up. What the heck, I'm not going to do it. So my job is to help them to find the detour. We'll go around it. and then it's a win.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of, I always say, take my belief in you and in the process and borrow it until you have your own.
So let the person borrow it from you until they have their
Yeah,
own.
borrow my belief in them.
Wow, I love it. Okay, now keep on talking. I'm just taking notes.
You know, I wrote myself a note too. I think the other thing that's really important is consistent action. I had a mentor many, many years ago, and he always used to say, be boringly consistent, boringly consistent. And that's why it's narrowing it down to the 1 to 2 to 3 things at the most that you can do on a consistent basis.
Mhm.
And I think that's really, really important. You know, in today's day and age of social media, people get sucked in and they spend too many hours. I have a calendar here, for example, about what I'm going to do for my posting for the month of October. And it's got 2 things per day. That's it. 2 things per day. Once I'm done, that's it. I'll go back in, I'll check to see any comments and I'll respond, that type of thing. But this is my social media for the month. And that's how I work it. Because if sometimes people will say, well, you need to do 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 times a day. My gosh, that's all you'd be doing. And the fact of the matter is most people do this on the side. They have 5 to 10 hours a week. So my role, my coaching, my mentoring, what I practice is I don't want to work all the time. I'm retired, right? So is what can you do in 30 minutes a day? And do the things that will help you to get closer to your why. Don't do stuff that, you know, you're busy being busy. No, just do the things that'll make you money. That's what I say. If you do this, will this make you money? If the answer is no, then why are you doing it?
Mhm. Okay. So social media makes you money. I'm very jealous.
It doesn't make me money. No. No, honestly, social media doesn't. I have said, you'd asked me this question when we talked the first time. Social media is the start.
Ah.
The conversation is the art. Everybody talks about attraction marketing. You know, it doesn't matter what business you're in, you know, and people think that if you post, they will come. Okay. They will buy. People expect them to buy. You know, if you're a coach, for example, you think you're just going to go and you do a post and somebody's going to hand you over $5,000? No, I have to have a relationship. So it just piques interest. So that leads me to thinking about when you are posting, you've got to look at it. What is your objective? I have one objective. This is my KPI when I am posting is I'm trying to see how many live conversations can I get? That's it. I still have to do the talking and the mentoring and listening and seeing if it's a good fit for everybody. Whether it's in my business or, you know, somebody wants coaching on the side, which I do a little bit of that still, but I focus on my network marketing business. But all I want to do is I'm looking for people that are looking and they'll pop up. And then my goal is to get a conversation. That's it. Just conversations. That's what it's about.
And what's your metric from conversations? Do you have like a conversion metric that, you know, 1/3 of the conversation have to have some kind of a next step, or do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. And you got me thinking I need to do that again with the new business. But what I do tend to think, I do think in thirds. That's how I've always thought. So 1/3 are going to say no. 1/3 are going to become a customer. 1/3 are looking to possibly join the business.
Mhm.
So I do like to think in thirds. And I always say no harm, no foul, because a lot of times in business, a lot of times in everything, it's not no, it's the timing isn't right.
Mhm.
You know, I always say, if you woke up this morning and you won the lottery, you know, won $40 million, and I reached out to you and said, would you like to earn an extra $5,000 a month? You'd go, I don't need that $5,000 a month. Okay, bad timing. But if you woke up this morning and you went to go start your car and it's dead, it needs a new battery, the tires are bad, and I reach out to you
Mhm.
saying about an extra $5,000 a month, they're going to go, oh, Now I have the problem. Now I want to talk with you. So that's why the consistency is so important. And, maybe not now, but when they need you, you always want to be top of mind. That's why that consistency of constantly showing up is so important.
Yeah.
Because you never know when.
That's true. Okay. So final question. What is the most important question that entrepreneurs, business owners should ask themselves?
Am I in alignment with this? Does this feel good? Is this what I want to do? Because if it doesn't feel right, chances are it isn't right. Not the question that most entrepreneurs ask is, how do I do it? The how will come, but you've got to, am I excited about this? Ask yourself, am I excited about this? If you're excited about it, that's going to help you through those difficult times. Yesterday, I had a call with someone about a potential product I was going to purchase, and I wasn't excited. And I just said, no, it's really not for me. And they went on and on and on. And I just said, thank you very much. But this was a good one to say, because I'm not in alignment with it. How can they argue with that? I'm not, it just doesn't feel right to me. So I just ask, am I excited about it? Because when you own your own business, there's nobody telling you have to get up. There's nobody saying you have to show up, that you've got to get out of your pajamas. You've got to want to do it. So if you're not excited about it, and it's not about your results, it's, are you excited about the idea?
About the process.
So,
you have to love it's. I think it's a sports coach who said it, that it's not about wanting to win, it's about wanting to prepare to win.
That's
So
right.
The process of preparing to win. So that's great. I agree. I don't think it just applies to entrepreneurs, business owners. I think it applies to employees of companies as well. If they don't love it, then they're probably not going to be able to perform extraordinarily in it. So they're going to be mediocre, and then the career is going to go nowhere. So
Absolutely.
might as well look
Absolutely.
for something that they can love, and then
Right.
it's going to be so much easier.
You're not going to love every day. You're not going to love everything. But if in general, if you're excited, if you wake up last night, it was it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and my mind was just going a million miles an hour. That's because I was excited. That's different than your mind going a million miles an hour and you're worried and this and that. So I focus on the activities, not on the results, because the results will come if I do the right activities.
That's right. Okay, so that's a great way to finish this conversation. So if people would like to learn more about what you do, about how to get involved in network marketing, perhaps, or they need your advice, where should they go and how can they connect with you?
Well, probably the easiest way is you can find me on Facebook. I use Facebook a lot. I have a Facebook group with about 800 members called the Network Marketers Den. And I can be found in there, but it's simply Janet Metzger. I am there. I can, if you want to put it in your notes or whatever, but that's the best way to do it. But I am very, very active on there, and I respond fairly quickly, not 24/7, because you have to set the boundaries, but that's the best way. But in my Network Marketers Den, we do a lot of teaching, training, answering questions, and it's a strong community.
Wow, 800. That's pretty strong. So Janet Metzger, business strategist and network marketing expert. So check out the Network Marketing Den on Facebook, or check out Janet Metzger's LinkedIn profile as well. You can find her there as well. And if you enjoyed this show, then please follow and subscribe on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. Give us a review and keep listening, because we come with a couple of exciting entrepreneurs every single week. So thank you for coming, Janet, and thanks for listening.
Thank you. Take care.